At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to them as they step out the crowded walkway. However, Ash especially, there's only his goal in his mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before they made the decision to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worried crease is on... back on her forehead. A worried crease is back on her forehead as she watches Ash leave to get his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, actually... Can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to.
No, a ghost will jump off of us and start being around and annoying Becca if we do that.
Tell her I'm okay, and we're... No, just that. That's all.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful. You too. Take care of yourself.
Almost abruptly, she pauses, the gaze in her eyes hardening as she lapses into another one of those long-distance silences from earlier. This ain't just because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
This one cut deeper. Before I can ask about it, Ashton returns, casually swinging his car keys in one hand and gestures at Isabella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
Shirley.
Who is Shirley?
Who's sure? Oh, right.
Tell us.
Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
That's the name of a movie.
It's cute. Yours is just weird. I'll see you later, Zach.
She spares me another smile as I watch her walk off, only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. I make a grab for the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself and shooting me a confused stare.
Is she alright?
What? Who's okay?
Isabella. She's been, I don't know, out of it today? Did something happen earlier?
A scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but...
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with. I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is, seems like a pretty big deal. Wait, you didn't annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
What? No, why would I? Just so you know, I already apologized for the one at the movie house. Granted, she deserved more of an apology, but I meant it that time.
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice.
Her dad
Honestly,
died.
I don't think it's the letter this time.
I think you're probably right. Because when I remembered, like, he got needed to, like, move him to a different hospital or something. Something about her dad, that's obvious.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you to promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, aight? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, we'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it's the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right, stay safe, Zach.
when he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole. I like to think the tiny gleam in his eyes is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said.
Look at the relationship.
Look at the relationship. Now that we are October 30th, Sunday, Isabella and Ashton went up because we were positive.
Can you go back to that real quick? I was just wondering what other characters we still had to play.
Quite a few, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Marianne, Rebecca, Ashton, Luke. We met Kylie.
You look pissed.
Greeted by them, and they're not telling us things and making us dumb. Oh yeah, that and... Oh, today that thing's gonna happen.
It did happen.
No, oh yeah, because now it's the 30th, you're right. Okay. So, night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With Ermid still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard. With Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach. It's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off, even for a little while. It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at quarter to 3 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just a pastime. Though if I'm going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and hope I'll hear from Ash or Isabella soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from them since they left. They haven't promised a call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have the common sense, at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, with the concerns stretching out the minutes far longer than usual. It's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand stills. It would be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how the old building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't anything new. Every now and then this would happen, leaving a few tenants in rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. This time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck. It set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant this place is no longer a home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about on the table. The camera's body, lens, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach. But in the resulting panic, like in the nightmares, it is the scent that reaches me first, a foul putrid smell filling my lungs with a heavy stink of death. My fingers clamped tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body, as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever is with me in the room. It won't. But it's the only comfort I have.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me, soft scuttling over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
Leave! Leave now! There's nothing here for you!
There's a brief moment of silence. After, and for a short while, I think my pleas worked.
But
Then, with no warning, shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman.
oh,
Use the mouse to look around, press spacebar to take a picture.
find her. She's behind us. Or do I just take it? Battery's dying. Oh.
The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque mixed shape and features before it is, once again, lost in the darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes, no longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek, bringing me with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob, and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit down and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to mind or my pulse settles down. And yet dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Oh no. Terror's too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Wherever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. Does not help that Ash hadn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. The sun has already peeked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got here. There's Ashton, first and foremost. A part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's really somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. And even after I made a round of the immediate vicinity, I could find neither hide nor tail of him. Hide nor hair. Yeah. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal here is. Can't be too far if he's really here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. Instead, there is only silence. The kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in.
Did Luke or Hana go back to the apartment? Like, which one's staying here?
I think they said Hana was going to, but that would have been last night she had the freak out in the kitchen.
Oh, and then he comforted her?
Yeah, so I don't know how that is actually going because it ended that way. No wonder the whole of Ansem feels at odds with the rest of Luxburn. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving. Unchanged. It's not surprising the legend still lives up to this day and why she's still here, walking its hollowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. Whatever grievance Ash has with them doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure Isabella would want the same thing. I head straight for the door without a second thought. It takes a few rings, the sound loud above the foreboding stillness, before I hear footsteps on the other side.
Gordon Bennett, only a Nancy would knock at such an ungodly hour.
She might not be here.
Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Before long, the door swings widely open with Mr. Luke Wright standing behind it.
Normally there's not... Do you see like the shadow
Yep.
behind him? I've never seen that before.
Yep, I noticed that too.
Can't tell if it means that he's like very upset and there's a dark cloud, or is the crazy lady behind him kind of thing.
Could be either. But being how early it is, I don't think Hannah would have left last night. I mean, it's possible she did, but I think she could still be there. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You! Again! It's bloody 6 a.m. What the hell is it now?
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time! Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't! Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door to my face and bolted shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Miss Wright. Oh, who am I kidding? I've already seen the look on her face when I tried before. There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. And again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us.
What was that?
Oh, okay. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What do you want? You're already dead! Leave us!
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hands slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxburn. Try to find the others. Try to get out of this mess with them. Or let them know how much in deep shit we all are. Both sound good. Either way, my loitering here ain't helping at all. Let the quietness calm me for a few moments before standing up and heading out to fetch my bike. Quite a distance to Luxburn, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here, I've just missed him earlier. Already, my feet are moving in search of him for the second time. It won't hurt to double check. Triple check, even. How big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably just have waited for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That it is not just a petty criminal he can simply throw in jail. That is something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasps by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of him, and I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that is when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listened for a while, trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet starts moving before I can stop them. And there, as I circle a corner, from a room in the first floor. A single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. However, I'm sure the singing comes from there. Still, why I'll hear an old tune here of all places, I won't know. It's not an obscure song by all means, but it's pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, death seems to follow this song around. Panic lodges itself in the base of my throat at once. Whoever's humming might be. I don't want to be the pessimist now, but on the off chance that it's Miss Wright.
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Oh, I accidentally skipped one. Ash will tell me in the exact same words, might even write me a dissertation, why that is a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, god damn it! Someone could be in danger.
Go in.
Enter the open window?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Why?
I mean, this is Zach.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Well, okay. So it's either Miss Wright or somebody else. But you can already hear the
Yes.
crazy lady sounds. You would have found Ash by now.
Yeah, I don't think Ash is around the house.
No. If he is, he's inside it. Like, I feel like they already snuck in somewhere. I'd go in.
This sounds like a terrible idea. But okay, let's do it. Bad ideas all the way. Enter the window. I can search for Ash, but what if it's too late by then? How big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we come back, somebody's already bit the dust. That, and the cries grow louder against my ear the longer I linger. Almost impossible to ignore it, drawing me in like a moth to a flame. For a moment, I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling off my head. This can't be a good idea, not by a long shot. I agree. Still, I've got to try. Funnily enough, for a couple as high profile as the Rice, they don't seem to have any security detail patrolling around. A few guards here and there, sure, but one will expect they'll have more considering the size of the place. Works to my advantage, though, and I really can't complain when there's a high chance I might get arrested for what I'm about to do. Luckily, the window's wide enough for me to fit through without making any noise. There's certainly no going back now. But as soon as I step into the parlor, all of it ceases, while I find no trace of the woman I heard crying like I'm expecting to. The room is still empty at this time of morning, and I'm left standing awkwardly in the middle of the hush. Maybe she just hid somewhere?
Hello? Are you here? I heard someone earlier, and I'm here to help.
Hoping for an answer, I let the question hang in the air. But several seconds merely go by without a word, or the slightest movement to indicate there's someone in here. Has been here. The stories I've heard, things I've seen, it takes efforts to keep my brain from going into that line of thought.
I'm not going to hurt you. If you're here, say something.
Nothing. Am I just hearing things? No, I'm pretty sure I heard someone. But with no one responding, I can't help but feel silly like this. And the awareness that I've just trespassed a house for nothing because of some voice prickles at me. Suddenly, the silence feels uncomfortable, and a needling anxiety slowly creeps up my back. I should get out while I can. If it ain't here, it ain't here. I don't spare the room another glance when I walk back the way I came. Out into the window, leave before someone else notices.
I thought I heard a servant moving around here. Turns out it's just a rat scurrying about.
Hi, Johannes.
What is this music?
I don't know. It's some type of tense danger music.
How unpleasant.
My heart shoots up into my throat. I can run. The window is a few steps away.
Do it.
I should be able to escape,
Do it.
but instead, out of some foolish impulse, I turn around. Perhaps it's because the only impression the guy has left of me in what few times we met is nothing but unsettling.
This ain't what you think it is.
You're quite the distance from the kitchen, I'm afraid. Perhaps I should lead you there.
Someone's in here before me. I wasn't here for what you're thinking. There was sobbing and...
The first blow knocks the wind out of me, sending me heaving and crumpling to my knees. Tears well up in my eyes as the pain swells when he twists my wrists behind my back.
You've gotta listen to me.
Then again, dirty thieves aren't welcome in my kitchen either.
For a moment, there's only silence and a sudden piercing ache, this time at the back of my head. The room abruptly tilts on its axis, dimming. On the verge of unconsciousness, I can only hear the scuffling of foot, the thud of the door being closed, and a woman crying, asking for help. I know no more.
I feel like you put us in the wine cellar.
It's a brand new day. Pain is the worst when I come to. A sharp piercing ache somewhere at the back of my head, begging to be noticed. But it's nothing I can't handle. Blearily, I open my eyes, expecting to be greeted by sunlight. However, the walls that welcome me are unfamiliar. When everything comes into focus, I recognize the place for what it is.
Oh, is it the precinct?
Yeah, it looks like it. If the benches, table, and a giant barred wall door thing with the sink behind it. A cell. Dark, cramped, with the only light coming from the moon outside, streaming through the sole window barred by thick metal bars. Memory rushes back to me in sharp bursts, the mansion looking for Ashton, a familiar tune, and a woman crying. All while my head still aches from the hit I've received.
Still better than a morgue, I guess.
Gingerly, I pull myself up, stretching the cramps from my shoulders as I do so, but stopping when a sudden movement induces acute stinging pain through my right arm.
Damn, they got me good. What time is it?
As expected, they've taken everything I have on my person. Wallet, cell phone, my keys, meds, even a small pack of gum. Protocol is protocol. In the first place, ending back in another cell ain't my agenda.
Another?
The first time was not a pleasant experience, and this certainly won't be either. Considering who is likely putting me here, it could be much worse. The bars are cold to my touch when I approach it, looking for the person on duty. They'd usually allow us to contact someone, and Ashton, at least, has to know I'm here. He'll be pissed, that I'm quite sure of, but he's the only one who can help me prove my innocence and get me out. However much I don't want to rely on him for this. The hallway in front of the cell is empty, but voices float through from further in. Likely the poor officer's assigned to late night duty. Judging from the snippets of conversation I catch, today's topic over a snack is that moron who thought it wise to cross the rights. They used other names too, most of which I'll like to have words with them about in the future. But really, I'm in no position right now.
Excuse me? Anyone?
Silence.
Excuse me! I need to make a...
Blood freezes in my veins, and my grip on the bar tightens as the revolting scent reaches my nose. More than the gore, the foul smell of death hangs heavily in the air. And against my better judgment, I turn. Her face is the first thing I see. A gruesome sight on its own, eyes gleaming with nothing but malevolence, blood oozing from the large punctured wound on her head. Mouth wide open in a voiceless scream. I clamp on the compulsion to retch. On instinct, I step back, put as much distance as I can in this cramped cell will allow between us. The bars rattle as soon as my shoulders hit it. A hindrance. Not to freedom, but to safety.
Get away from me!
She moves, in short, sudden bone-crunching twitches, and I know there is no escape. I'm screaming for help before I know it, jolting the bars with as much force as I could.
Somebody! Get me out of here! Anyone, please!
Bugger off! Some people are trying to get some sleep here!
No! She's here! You've gotta let me out! She's gonna kill me! Someone! She's...
Unlocked a memory fragment.
What is this?
Well, that's the fancy mom in the back. Did you see that? Like the old peoples? The rich people?
Mm-hmm.